Hi. How are you? A little bit of a different environment today. Different recording area. We're out in the park where we bring our dogs to get a good run and stretch their legs. So I thought, why not record out here today in a natural setting, outside, not in the house, because any day that is half decent warm, I prefer to be outside. I'm Janice. I'm coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And I just want to say hello to my new subscribers. I'm almost to 100, and that's kind of what my whole little goal was when I started this channel, was just to get to 100 so I could tell my kids that I've got 100 people. I think I'm sitting at 93 right now, so it's exciting. I keep telling my kids, you know, I've got like 80, I've got 88, I've got 90, and it's with some help of other podcasters too, so it's a big thanks out to them as well. But yeah, it's +3 here today, Celsius. It's sunny. It's a bit chilly. I'm not gonna lie, there's a bit of a bite in the air, and I believe this time next week we're gonna be back down to -16, -17 at night. Not looking forward to it. I think March is probably my hardest month here because it comes in warm, it's nice, and you kind of get that your sight set on, okay, spring's here. It's been a long winter. We had it was cold. I think every winter is cold, but some winters it's just, it feels colder. But then here we are going back down. So March is a little trickster. It's a month where it's like, haha, and then it's like, haha. Just kidding, I think is the way to put it. Just kidding, just joking. Winter is not over, and we're gonna freeze your butts off one more time before actually hits spring. So here I am in the park, trying to get as much sun. I had to move a picnic table around. Finally, it was unthawed. Everywhere I sat, it just the sun. You know, I'm not trying to complain about the sun, but it was just not working out. So my husband helped me get a picnic table unstuck and moved it. So I'm kind of almost sitting in the bush. But hey, I like this. You know, I would actually, if I had something to sit my little podcast, my little tripod on, I'd probably be recording way in there. But isn't that beautiful? So today I'm just going to show you a little update on my March sock. I am doing, it's a sock along 2025 being run by Socksy Nana Alice. That is her podcast name, and her name is Alice. As well with My Pink Bathtub, her name is Diane. It's a yearly thing to knit a pair of socks a month. Or how many? Or you can crochet. Doesn't have to be knit, it can be crocheted. I think I've told this on pretty much most of my podcasts. They have a Ravelry group as well where you can upload your pictures, and at the end of the month they do a big, I call it a display, but I guess a little video that shows everyone's socks. So if you go check out their channels, especially Diane's on My Pink Bathtub, you'll see February sock run. So I am enjoying it, truly enjoying it, because I have a habit where I will knit a sock and then it's 2 years later before I knit the other sock. So this has kept me on par with knitting, and it's the excitement also for me too to think, okay, what am I going to pick for next month's pattern? Because I don't want it to be all vanilla socks. I want each month to have a little bit of something different to it, and then maybe do, a simple vanilla one in there. So this month I chose, it's a sock pattern called the Pressed Flower. It's by Savory Knits. I believe her name is Amy Christophers, I think. But if you look up Savory Knits on Ravelry, I believe Instagram, and probably just Google her name, it'll come up. But I started this on March 1st as well. I was like, March 1st, get it casted on. I'm using Patton's Croy, and it's just black. Actually, it's called Century Gray. And then I have a little ball of pink. I don't know what this is. I had a friend send me this 3 Christmases ago. I started a pair of socks toe up and didn't get anywhere with it, so I pulled it back, and yeah. But this is where I'm at so far. How cute is that? Little flowers. And this is super easy. It's slip stitching. So you'll do a row where you're slipping either part of the, I think the black. Either way, most of it is slip stitching, and then you'll do that for 2 rounds of the pattern. Then you'll go back and you'll do the knitting on the stuff that you slip stitched. And these little spots here, one row they're knit, the next row it's purled, so it makes them more prominent so they don't stick back in. But it's easy. A little bit of frustrating in the beginning, I will admit. My yarns kept twisting while I'm knitting, and that's annoying. It's annoying because then you get so twisted you become to have a knot. So this morning, I like to do a little bit of knitting in the morning. I've been trying to do that before I get up and go around. If I have 15 minutes, sit and do a little bit of knitting on whatever I have. Usually it's my socks. I found a way where I keep one ball to this side and one ball to like my right and then to my left. And as I'm switching them, the one that I'm not using on my left, I tend to kind of grab a hold of it. Like say I'm knitting across here, and I have one here, I will kind of hold it back as I'm twisting it, because I had such a mess. And honestly, if you look at it, it's a mess again, because I shoved it into my bag, and I don't want that. I want the joy, I want the peace, I want the tranquility when I'm knitting it, not constantly twisting it. I mean, I'm going to regret this later, but constantly doing that. So I have a way now that I figured one ball to one side. And I have little baby socks at home I bought from the dollar store specifically to put yarn in. I'm going to do it with these 2 balls. I'm going to put them in the little baby socks. It keeps them nice and snug. I did it for a pair of socks I did a while ago, and I loved it. And that way it's not unraveling. They're in little baby socks, and I can just, if I have to untwist, do it easier. So I'll show that for next time, them in the little socks that I have. But so far, this is where I'm at for March. I did, well, pretty much all this flower into here. It's quite fast. I am going to do just the leg and the pressed flowers. If you look at the pattern, it's the whole sock. I myself don't like the look of it. I want to emphasize on my leg. So the rest of the sock's going to be in black when I get my leg done. And I want it to be just emphasized on my leg, the pretty flowers, because no one's going to see it if it's in my shoe, right? So the pattern does... This pattern goes all the way down to your toe. I'm not doing that. I want it just on my leg. And I was thinking about doing the pink for the heel. I'm not even going to do that. I think I'll do maybe the pink for the toe to offset it a little bit. I haven't decided. But I do have 2 balls of this, so I have plenty of yarn. Also, when talking about socks, I talked a little while ago about how my husband, he wears his socks out. And as an example like this. This is done in Briggs & Little Tuffy. So it's nylon and wool. Look up Briggs & Little. They're in New Brunswick. It's 100% wool. Fantastic stuff. It's a workhorse sock yarn. Same with Patton's Croy. I think for fingering weight yarn, this is a workhorse. I don't, maybe you can, but in my world, for what I've used, I haven't explored much out. I think this is probably the most sturdiest sock yarn that I know of myself. If there's other ones you guys know of, let me know. But anyways, I cut the foot off. I meant to bring it with me, but I quickly packed. I decided last minute I was going to record here today when we came. So I cut the foot off this one, and I went back, picked up the 54 stitches. And this pattern is by Briggs & Little. If you look up heavy sock pattern, you'll find the pattern for this. I'm using a 3.5 knitting needle, cast on 54. This I did not knit. My mother did. She knit him 2 pairs about 1.5 years ago and sent them. So she knit this. I'm picking up and I'm redoing the heel and the toe. I have done this before. I wasn't going to. Then I got thinking, come on, really? I only have to knit half the sock. It's thicker yarn on bigger needles. It's pretty quick. So I'm going to do about another inch of this. And I found a bit of the same color in my stash. And I was going to just pick up another ball I had random in the house. And I decided today to Told my husband, no, we're going to go to Joe's Yarn Garden and get the same color because I want to knit the sock in the rest of this and not switch up the colors. So another one I'll be working on. This will probably go pretty quick. I actually sold my pressed flowers one. It just gives me something. Oh, okay, we're getting whatever. You can see a bit of sun rays. It feels good. It's nice. So that's my sock talk for this episode. For this series, for today, which is March 5th. I spent yesterday and Monday and last Friday doing courses. I think the sun's starting to rise, coming out a bit further. I knit. No, I didn't knit. I went and I did courses for H2S Alive, which is a course that needs to be in the oil patch and I think the energy sector here in Alberta, probably all of Canada. And then yesterday and the day before, on Monday, I did first aid. I'm going to see. I'm starting to lose my sun. Let's try something. Sorry, getting up close and personal with you guys. So anyways, yeah, I did H2S, which, oh my gosh, what a course. They're like 8.5 hour courses. Let's try this. There, a bit better. To learn about H2S, which is a natural gas that comes out of the ground. It's dangerous, it can kill you. And how to put on, which is like, let's get oxygen tank and put the mask on. Then, of course, a 2-day first aid, which, oh, if you've ever taken the first aid 2-day course, it's long. It's a lot. There's a lot to take in. Anyways. Okay. So, that's what I've been doing. Early mornings, getting up at 5:30, leaving at 6:15 in the morning. And getting back about 4:30, because it's about an hour and 15 minutes to get there. If you're lucky with traffic to get into Edmonton. Gridlock. Yesterday we got stuck in construction. This stupid GPS lady, she lied. Like, we took the quickest route, she told us, and then, you know, we're going along, and didn't she stick us in construction? I was freaking out. I was panicking. I was going to be late for my class. Anyways, thankfully my husband stayed calm. We got there. I had like 10 minutes to spare. It was fine. But I don't trust her anymore, the GPS in my car. I'm not going to believe that anymore. So, onward and forward. Let's stop talking about GPS. Another thing that I'm doing, it's my own little make-along. I don't know if anybody else wants to run it with me or do it, or their own little thing. I was gifted a bunch of vintage magazines. A lot. And I've chosen, starting this month, I want to do something, one thing from either one of these magazines a month that is, you know, older patterns. So the one that I picked is Patton's, this one here. It's only $1.99 from a Value Village. I can't find the date. You know how usually if you open the front page, there's the date? Or if you look on the back page, there's a date. I can't find one. And I'll apologize right now if I have one of the books and I say it's like 1960 and I'm like vintage. Don't take offense, please. I still think I'm in my 30s and 20s, so to me 1960s would be vintage. Although really the 60s is only like 10 years older than I am. I don't think I'm vintage. But vintage is nice, right? Anyways, this is the first book I picked. The pattern I'm doing is called a star-shaped cushion for this month. This one right here. I love the little applique. I think it's called applique. I'm going to presume it is because you're stitching it on, right? These little vine things. So that's going to be my first one for March. And the yarns that I picked out are these ones. It's going to be, this ball is just Premier DK that I got at the local dollar store. Well, not really local. Kind of local to us. This purple is the same. So this one is called Spruce. This one we're going to just call Purple. And this one I do know is a Cascades 220. I don't know the color of it. It just was in my stash. They all kind of line up the same color. So this is going to be my color choice for this. And it's my March, vintage March go-along that I'll be doing. A lot of them have blanket patterns. Like there's this cute little cushion one here. I like cushions. I could probably have my couch, my bed completely covered. But look, there's another cushion I wouldn't mind trying. The blocks. Or they have a hot water bottle. Like there's lots of options to choose from. This star pillow, it popped out at me. Look at this one. Isn't that beautiful? Crocheted blouse. The only problem with this pattern is it only goes to a woman that has a 40-inch bust. I'm like a 48, 49-inch bust. It won't fit me. So I think if I sat down and I really kind of played with it, I could probably make it fit and go bigger and take the idea of how they did this to make it more stitches, because it looks like it's granny square clusters. Oh, but I love it. It'd be beautiful in cotton for the summer. But another idea. They have a placemat and a hot pad. And the beginning of this book tells you how to crochet. Like it has different variations of shell patterns that you can do. Which is nice because if you know you're creative, you can incorporate them into your patterns, right? If you want to make something. But some of my other ones have beautiful granny square vest, which I would love. But pretty much most of them are for women that have smaller bust size. I don't know if in the 50s, in the 60s, and the 40s, it must have been healthier or smaller framed women. Because most of them have it, like I said, for smaller women. But I'm pretty sure I could probably improvise it a little bit and figure it out to make it bigger for me. So yeah. That's my month of March. I've been working on my blanket that I showed you guys maybe a month ago. The yarn held double, just this double crocheted ones. I have 25 rows left to do on that. I've been doing about 3 to 4 rows a night. That I'm hoping to be able to show you guys by next Wednesday. My plan is to have it done literally before next Wednesday because I have another blanket I want to cast on. I'm in the blanket thing, but I've been holding myself off because I know if I get too many, I'm just going to be like, they're never going to get done. Ice. So, last but not least, I dug out the little old sewing machine that I have that was given to me, and I wanted to make a fish. I love fish. It seems like when I go and look for things to sew, or even like tapestry crochet, automatically it's a fish. I look for fish. I love to eat it. I love to fish for fish. I love cleaning fish. I love everything about fish. The only two that I can't say I love that much anymore is smoked Gaspereau and smoked shad. I don't know if it's a Western thing. I don't know. But if you're from the East Coast, you'll know what I mean when I say smoked Gaspereau and smoked shad. Grew up. It stinks. I love to eat it, but I remember going to school the next day and the kids would be like, you smell like fish. Because when my dad would cook it, it would stick in the house. For like a week later, our couch, everything smelled like fish. And it stuck in my nose. So, anyways, I drew out, I want to make a sardine because I love sardines. Who doesn't love sardines? So I drew this out. This is my own little drawing. I'm not really good at it. But anyways, and then I took some material that I got from the dollar store. His belly's not sewed up yet. But I wanted to show him today anyways. And if you notice, this little part of his tail is not lined up with this little part. I don't care. But look what my sewing machine did. And I am not an expert sewer, seamstress. I am still considered a newbie. I mean, I do know the basics. But I did everything. That machine, it jammed. I did everything. Like, remember, it's an old machine. I've had it, why have I hadn't had it long? But the lady had it for quite a few years. And I think it's just done. Like, even the seam here, it did it. I mean, I think it adds character. It's kind of like maybe you're seeing the fish's backbone. and I put little buttons. If my machine was working right, I probably would have had a whole school of these little guys, because it was so much to fun, so much to fun. It was so much fun. Where'd you go, Harley? To make. Harley? Hey! Come, Harley. Oh, there she is. You see her? I hear her. Okay, there she is. I would have had a bunch of these made. Super fun. So I'm going to be making more. And I forgot to put a little thing. You're supposed to put, like, if you want to put a little thing here, a loop in its mouth, so you can hang it up, which eventually I want to do, because I want to have, like, a whole bunch hanging. I got a free tapestry pattern for a mackerel. I love mackerel. Mackerel are fun to fish. When you have like 5 or 6 little jigs on your line, you throw it out, especially when a mackerel school's coming through, and you can pull in like 6 to 7 mackerel at one time. I mean, like, folks, instead of casting getting 1, you can get like 6 to 7 mackerel. Anyways, I've got a tapestry pattern for a mackerel. I am going to make another cardigan. I wasn't going to touch on that one today, but I am going to touch on it. I'm doing another crochet cardigan with the mackerel across the chest. Oh, if I could find a sardine one that was nice, I'd probably do a sardine, or maybe a Atlantic salmon. So I'm going to put this here right now to all of you guys. Like I said, I love fish. I think I love every kind of fish there is to love. But there is Pacific and there is Atlantic salmon. Atlantic salmon is the best. I will argue with anybody. It's juicier. It's just plumper. It tastes better. I find Pacific salmon is dry. It's not as plump. It doesn't have that Atlantic Ocean. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's my fish talk for today. But yeah, so I am going to save up. For a sewing machine, I'm going to nickel and dime it and save to get myself a nice one. I like to get a Janome. That's what my nanny had. She had Singer for many years, and then she went to, oh, what was that name? I forget. It's not a popular name. If any of you guys sew, I can't even think of the name of it. It's a weird name. Anyways, but she ended up with Janome before. I'm pretty sure it was Janome. But I know my nanny loved Janome, and I remember seeing her Janomes. So that's what I want to save up for, is to get myself just a basic. I don't want anything fancy where it has all the embroidery. Just a nice basic Janome sewing machine that I can pick up, because I also found some fish quilting patterns that have fish. I want to make them. So, I mean, my husband can hear me, but I think we're going to have a fish quilt on our bed. Okay, honey? What? A fish quilt. So I want to do quilt blocks that have fish on it. You cool with that? A quilt's a good quilt. Good answer. He don't care as long as he gets to sleep underneath of it and enjoy the warmth, and his honey made it. So, fish. His name's Pablo. My daughter asked me what his name was, and I'm like, Pablo. So I'm going to finish showing his belly up tonight because I forgot about doing it. And it's fish one down. So I may still use that sewing machine and still kind of make some more. You know what I mean? Because really, like I said, it looks like a backbone. I just want to make them. Oh, my nose is starting to run. Anywho, that's it for today. My socks, my vintage thing I'm going to make, which I'm excited. My yarn's picked out for that. My blanket, which I'm almost done. And a little bit of crafty sewing and sewing the button on. Oh, I had so much fun making this. I'm going to leave a link below. It's for a Ko-Fi page where you can, I guess it's called Buy Me a Coffee. I am going to leave it down below. It has nothing to help me make this channel grow, because really, this channel has grown because of you lovely people. And yeah, but it's kind of a little bit of a piggy bank to go towards saving up for Janome. I feel bad saying that. Absolutely, I'm not going to feel bad. Anyways, so I hope you guys are all doing well. And if you're crafting, whatever it is, keep your hands busy. If you can get outside, get outside. If you can't, maybe crack your window, get a bit of fresh air. I'm going to go now because everything's all over this table. I really wish I could edit because I was telling my husband when we were moving the picnic table, I would have loved to have had a video of us moving it. It was quite funny because this is a mobile picnic table you're sitting on, but then there's ones that are made out of, I think, cement. They're stuck in the ground. We had to fit between that and two little fireplaces. So it would have been fun to show you guys. And to show you guys kind of where I'm at. Well, actually, I did. There's a video a little while back, if you guys can go find it, that showed part of the little park where we take the dogs to run. This little thing. Little pointer. This works, actually. Do your homework. Keep crafting. Keep your head up. Because, like, I seen a podcast the other day. It was just a small one. I've been following a lot of small podcasters that have even less than I am. I believe in supporting them. And I've really been enjoying the small ones. Little small content they've been doing. And she did a little, at the end of her video, she's like, you're worth it. You're beautiful. And I just thought it was beautiful. So, yeah. Oh, the big dog's out. Let's see if we can show them. Hey, guys. Come here. Harley. Nettie. Come here. Come here. Can we see? Come on this side, Nettie. Come here. Oh, gosh. Can you guys see them? This is Nettie. Hi, Nettie. Oh, and there's Harley. Can you see Harley? They fight for attention. They both want at the same time. All right. So, until next time, take care, guys. Bye for now.